So with me here in my hands is the Npet K10 gaming keyboard. It's a $25 keyboard that's been making a lot of buzz on the market, and possibly because of its price tag. Most of the videos of budget gaming keyboard includes the Npet, and because of that I was curious and I picked it. So I've been using it for a while now, and these are my own thoughts on this. So in this video I'll be covering three things basically, which would include the hardware, the specifications and the performance, which would include the typing test and all of those things you really need to know. So we'll be going down and uncovering everything you need to know to make you make an informed decision if you are getting this $25 keyboard. So without further ado, Zerman Moses here, let's get into the video. So the first impression you get with this is it's slim, and the construction basically comes off as cheap, but it's sturdy. This would fit into most workspaces without problems, and it's just perfect. The lighting, the design and everything in between. At the back you do have some foot pads. The foot pad is really nice as it adds to the grip. When you keep it on the table, it has a steady grip and wouldn't just move off the surface that easily. It also has this foot pad at the bottom, which adds to the variation of how you type here. Now, transitioning for me from the laptop based kind of keyboard, which is flat, to something that is just closely packed here was so different. There were times where I made some few mistypes, and because of that you would really need time to get into the flow of typing on the keyboard. Talking about the keypads and everything in general, is it's conventional, and it's just as conventional as it gets. Everything is closely packed, as I've said, and you'd find a bit of learning curve when it comes to typing fluently on here. Talking about outrageous statements, there were a lot made about this, and the manufacturer has boasted of it being water resistant, and as well the keycaps do not fail. Are those true? How did they hold out? From the construction, it's really true to an extent, which because of the fact that these keypads here are floating and they are removable as well, and when I remove the keypads of their positions, it's hard to see where water would get in. So I believe that for water spills, and if you don't intentionally submerge this keyboard into water, then it would hold out to water spills and liquid, as it would just roll down in between the spaces down there and just fall off. When it comes to typing, I've used this for about a month and I've not seen any visible signs of any fading, so I guess that's true. We'll see how that holds out after a long while. To be very honest, I'm not much of a gamer. I've typed more on this than I've gamed, but because of you guys, I tested this on the PS4 and it was compatible. Everything worked seamlessly. Also, because of the 2.0 USB cord, you can connect it to your Windows. It's compatible with any device that would have a 2.0 port. So that is just it for the most part. Now, there's a funny thing about typing on here. If you can just listen closely. Now, if you have noticed closely, you would understand that there's this gross inconsistency when it comes to the typing feedback. There's a point where it feels like it's mechanical, and at some point it creates this metallic sound, you understand? This thing that's so disturbing to the ears. It's inconsistent across the board, which might be a cause of bother for many users. Now, this would bring us to one of the most interesting things about this keyboard, which is the RGB settings itself. The RGB settings comes in three different colors, three different stripes of course. You can just change in between them by pressing the LED button, which is found on the front row. You can also increase and decrease the intensity by just holding down the function button and either page up to increase the intensity of the light or decrease it. This would work very fine for people that just use their PCs or in a workspace where it's dark. This feature would come in very handy. It also has this breathable light. I don't know why it's showing on the screen as it flickers. It doesn't flicker in real life, but this breathable light is also cool as well. It adds to the nuance of the keyboard, and the RGB gets a lot more interesting than just what they give us. However, I did feel that there should be one single backlight because this RGB might be distracting for other users. Despite the size of this and you think it's slim, I've tried flexing it hard enough and just tried to break this apart. It doesn't quick and it doesn't give those flexes. Now, this is a disclaimer that you shouldn't try too hard because you might just break this apart. It brings us to the point where I feel you should know how this really sounds in real life. So for a quick typing test, this is how it feels in real life. So finally, I'm going to just recap my thoughts into pros and cons to make you understand this in a more detailed kind of format. Firstly, starting with the cons is the fact that this keyboard does not have a single backlight. It would have really made more sense that it had a single backlight instead of just the RGBs. Another thing is just the inconsistent sounds where you get across the board. The typing feedback can get really loud and it aches the ears at times. They try to do a cheap imitation of a mechanical keyboard, and far from it, this is not even a mechanical keyboard. You won't get the same experience as you would if you pick a mechanical keyboard. Now there's the Keychron K2, which is about $70. If you want one of the best mechanical keyboards around that budget price range, then you should check that out as well. Finally, what I felt could have been done better is a detachable cord. Now this cord just has a 2.0, which makes it uncompatible with other devices that you would want to use it on. The cord is made up of some materials again that would make itself tangle over a long period of time, although you wouldn't experience this if you don't move the keyboard around that much. If it's stationary, then you're good to go. Which brings us to the pros of this. Firstly, it's a $25 keyboard, which makes it very affordable on the market. Gaming on here is not the best I've seen. I've tried keyboards that are better than this, but for the price it comes, it's really manageable and you'll enjoy it. Another thing is just the RGB setup. The RGB setup is cool and it adds to the beauty of this, especially if you have a dark workspace and you take pictures of this, whether it's in real life. It just creates this exotic kind of workspace for people. So it's really cool that this feature is there in the first place. Durability is good. It's made up of some strong components. It doesn't creak or flex even when I tried hard. As you can see, if you want me to try this on camera, then this is it. As you can see, I'm trying hard not to be theatric or anything. It really stands well against its own. This is a durable keyboard that will last you many years of use, undoubtedly. So guys, there you have it. This is my own full review and thoughts about the Npet K10 gaming keyboard, which I've used for about a month now. And actually further down the line, maybe I'll make a review to see how it tests out and how all those things, the outrageous statements that were made by the manufacturers about this keyboard, whether it's true or not. So finally guys, if you did enjoy this video and stayed thus far, don't forget to subscribe and support this channel guys by subscribing, clicking on the bell icon, and most importantly, smashing that like button to help us with the YouTube algorithm. Don't forget to stay awesome and stay cool and always stay mobile. Zara Moses, and I'm signing out. Peace.